r/rules horror. Posted by u/c_investigator_742. Anna's scrubby cleanup crew services, rules for the first timers. Dear Sophia. It's so nice to hear from you again. I was hoping you would reach out soon. I'm glad your Aunt Muriel made you contact me. Hell, I was starting to lose hope you would even come to the shop. Sorry if I wasn't there to greet you, I had to take care of other projects regarding our work. You know how it is, the cleanup crew never sleeps. You were probably greeted by Carol the moment you came in. I know, she has quite the tongue and attitude, but you'd be surprised she's one of the few you'd be able to actually trust in our cute little business. That girl may not look it, but she's certainly capable on a lot of things. I assume she already given you your task for this week's cleanup. If she did, reply to this email ASAP. She probably thinks you're not fit in this line of work, so I'd rather be the one who'll actually give you your first job. Carol likes to mess with the fresh meat, so, it's best to come to me for a few more weeks till you're a little bit more experienced. This job can definitely get messy, for obvious reasons, so I'd hate to scare you away when you barely even started. We don't want your aunt to give me a long-ass lecture on terrifying her cute little niece now, do we? I know the terms and conditions we gave for you to sign was weird, but trust us when we say we completely mean every single sentence written in it. So imagine my surprise when Carol informed me you were still interested on working for me. Of course, like most jobs, we require our employees to follow a set of rules when starting their shifts, but since you're a new employee and a friend's family member, I deeply value your existence and would very much like it if you were to stay alive and well. I need you to follow these set of rules I personally written down in this email. 1. If any of your coworkers, specifically Carol and Smith's, give you new set of rules engraved in an old-looking paper, do not in any circumstances take it. I am the only one who will be giving you instructions to follow. Simply pat them on the shoulder and smile before shaking your head at them and leave. Don't look back at them when you do, and if they ever do this, kindly report to me immediately. I'll handle the rest. 2. You will be partnered up with 2 adept cleaners I specifically handpicked to get along with you, Beans and Mitch. Other than Carol and I, these 2 are the best people you can probably stick yourself to when other coworkers start to mess with you. Beans is the reasonable of the 2, so she's very well respected in this establishment, so if you were ever made fun of or messed with, it's best to run up to her or stay in the same room for an hour or so. Whoever was planning on messing with you would pretty much back away once Beans is with you. 3. You'll be given a cleanup van with your partners. Mitch is the best driver I know, so don't worry too much if the car suddenly swerves or bumps into something. Best to ignore why it happens. He doesn't really like to be questioned at things he's known to excel in. 4. Pardon Mitch's actions if he starts flirting with you. I swear he doesn't mean any harm. He's a hopeless romantic, you see, and has been complaining he's been single for far too long. If he ever does flirt with you, just smile and nod your head. He tends to follow the feisty hard-to-gets around. He'll probably leave you alone soon when he decides you aren't his type. Since you're new though, I think he might be a little bit more persistent and bug you a lot, but don't worry. It's not like he'll be following you home or anything like that. If he does, please tell me ASAP. 5. If you see flies surrounding Mitch, run towards Carol and report him. If you don't see the flies anyways, you would probably hear or see him biting his nails. So whenever this happens, it's best to stick to Beans for a long time when you do cleanups. This doesn't necessarily mean anything, don't worry. I assure you he's a nice guy, for the most part. 6. Beans would probably tell you to go get some cleaning materials in the supply closet a lot. The door tends to close on its own, which affects the lights. Once this happens, be sure to close your eyes and ignore the little tugs you will feel on your uniform. This is just Alice playing tricks. Whatever you feel isn't there. Talk in a stern voice and say, "Leave me alone, Alice, I'm working." She's the youngest of the crew, so try to be nice to her when you see her. 7. Beans is nice and very motherly. I can easily say she's probably the kindest employee I have. Just don't expect her patience to be limitless. Everyone has a limit. She despises laziness and irresponsibility. 8. If you see a grinning old man standing next to the water jugs in the hallway towards my office, that's Smith's. Do not in any circumstances smile back at him, don't even look at him. You might start to feel heavily compelled to by the way his face seems to be melting in your peripherals, but I assure you, it is not worth it. 9. Try not to bleed or get hurt in the shop, everyone will be able to smell you. 10. Do try to show no distaste or disgust whenever you're cleaning a regular's house, they will know. You can ask Carol or Beans who our regulars are. But don't worry. You won't have to take any regulars soon. 11. If you see me walking around the shop, say hi. It'll be nice to talk when you do, because there's a reason to why exactly am I out in the office. 12. Ignore Cecilia's crying when you go to the restroom, she only wants attention. 13. Mitch might ask you to go out and eat whenever a job is done, say yes. Like I said, he's a good guy after all. Do not accept if he asks you without looking at you. 14. If a trash bag is moving when you're on the job, immediately report to either Beans or Mitch, they would know what to do. 15. If Beans suddenly bounds up to you with an angry look on her face and asks where Alice is, stay quiet and point to any direction that will be away from you. Run once she leaves, ignore the crying when you do. Beans and Alice don't really get along too much, it's best to stay to Carol's side when this occurrence happens. 16. When you're alone in a room and the lights go out, immediatelt start screaming, either Mitch or I will fetch you. 17. Be ready to abandon your group on the job when a terrible feeling washes over you, your intuition is always going to be right. Do not trust them when this happens. Mitch always leaves the keys on the ignition, so drive away when you can. But if you are unable to get into the van, I hope you're a good runner. There's probably going to be more rules for you the longer you stay working for me. For now I'm just going to give you the easiest jobs since you're still new. I won't ask or make you do any work for our regulars soon, since those are for our most advanced staff only. I won't even transfer you to any advanced jobs if you do stay for a long time. If you think you're ready to take on our regulars jobs, tell me. I won't be assigning them to you personally because I can't make that call. If you think you aren't ready or even second doubting yourself, then that's fine. The pay is nice, sure, and might compel you to take regulars. But I assure you, if you aren't ready, then do not, and I mean this to the full extent, accept any regulars. I'm more thankful for having you than the latter, so I do hope you'll get along with your partners. If you have any questions, you can email me or talk to me in person. See you on Monday, Sophia. Anna.